Hey everybody, and welcome to another ActionFeatures.net Toy Talk review. Today we're taking a look at another release in Diamond Select's Ghostbusters 7-inch action figure line. This time around it's an exclusive, the Marshmallow Rey Stantz figure. Now this figure is a Toys R Us exclusive, as you can see by the little shiny silvery sticker here. But it was also a Comic-Con International exclusive. It was sold at the Entertainment Earth booth at Comic-Con, I believe, 2016. And then it was available during the show on ToysRUs.com. And I don't know for sure if it'll be in stores or not. I haven't seen it in stores as of this recording, but it is still available on their website, and I'll put a link in the info section for the low price of $13.99, which we'll kind of talk more about when we get to the couch portion. But yes, this is a 7-inch action figure with all these accessories and stuff for under 15 bucks. Alright, so the packaging. It's the same color motif and design as we've looked at on other Diamond Select releases, but this one is the Toys R Us style packaging. The first two waves of figures were released both at comic shops and at Toys R Us. The comic shop and specialty shop versions have the large piece of the big rooftop diorama, whereas the Toys R Us versions don't include that and instead come on the smaller card back with a stand included. So this is the first time we're seeing this smaller packaging. I brought out my packaged regular Rey so we can see them side by side. Because I haven't bought really any of the Toys R Us versions because I've been buying the ones with the rooftops. But this gives you an idea of the packaging size and changes if you were to buy these regular releases at Toys R Us. So you don't get this extra portion along the side that the specialty shop versions have. It's just a smaller, just simple card back with a bubbled figure. It doesn't have the weight, obviously, because it doesn't have the diorama in there. But it does seem sort of brighter overall because you're not losing a lot of the background from the rooftop piece here. You just get a nice, clear shot of the background of that card back, which has like a cityscape and looks like maybe some proton streams. I don't know exactly what is on that card back because I didn't bother to look when I opened my Rey that I bought to open. But you get the information along the bottom here. Ghostbusters, the San Diego Comic-Con logo, Marshmallow Rey Stantz. Behind the figure is a little insert. And I want to talk about that really quick, since we're talking about the packaging. It has a little catalog of some of the Diamond Select Ghostbusters stuff, but more importantly, it also includes a clear clip for the Proton stream. The first wave of figures of Rey and Winston didn't have these little clips on their Proton streams. And so now they're including these in with the newer figures so that you can go back and put them on there, or if maybe you broke a clip off or something like that, which is cool. They were thinking about doing that with the regular Series 2 releases, but I don't think they made it in there. But they are inside the exclusive Marshmallow Rey and Marshmallow Peter. So the back of the package shows Marshmallow. Oh, here we got the shot. See this shot back here where it's the four guys with the proton streams going? I'm assuming that's on the card back too, since it's hidden behind the catalog. Okay, so you get a shot of the Rey figure that you have obviously right in front of you, and then you also get a shot of the exclusive Marshmallow Peter Venkman, which was sold at the Diamond Select Toys booth at Comic-Con, and now the leftovers are being sent out to different retailers, like GameStop has him. I think GameStop's website, you can do a check, see if you can find what stores have him. A lot of comic shops are able to order him, so both of them seem like they're going to be pretty readily available. Alright, I'm going to read this card back for you really quick. It says, well-versed in religious texts and occult, Dr. Raymond Stantz is also a technical wizard, designing the Proton Packs, Neutrino Wand, and Ghost Traps used by the Ghostbusters. A confrontation with the incursive deity Gozer the Gozerian resulted in the destruction of a 112-foot Marshmallow Man on Central Park West, which required an extensive cleanup after the fact. This exclusive 7-inch action figure is based on the final scenes of the 1984 feature film Ghostbusters and features 16 points of articulation. It was sculpted by Gentle Giant Studios. Alright, so there's one last look at him carded. Now let's get him out of there and take a look at him loose. And here we have Marshmallow Rey Stantz out of the box. Let's take a look at his accessories first, then we'll look at his articulation and some differences between him and the regular release. We haven't tackled the regular Rey yet in our reviews, so we're going to be showing some things that you'll then see on the regular Rey, but you're seeing him here for the first time before we get to the regular review, so sorry for doing them out of order, but you get the idea. Okay, so he comes with a set of hands already on him, which are sort of a more relaxed grip. They're kind of like that, and that's great for holding the Proton Neutrino Wand, Proton Wand, whatever you want to call it, in his hands and a more relaxed look. But if you wanted to get a tighter grip on them, he also includes a set of sort of tighter gripped hands. And he gets a right and a left on that. Then he has two more right hands without gloves, and that is a fist hand and a more open grip hand, which is great for holding the walkie-talkie. You'll get better views of these on the pictures when we link the gallery in the info section below this video. There's also a set of gloved hands, and this was something we've talked about before on the videos, but that Diamond included when fans were asking for gloved versions of them. They came up with this great way of handling. I'm going to pop this out of his hand, out of his grip for now. I'm going to take these guys out. So the hands just switch out by pulling them out, and sometimes people have said that they have issues with the pegs breaking, but I've been switching out these hands for a while, and I have had no issues with any pegs breaking on any of the hands. So I don't know if I've just been lucky, or if maybe people are just twisting them out the wrong way, maybe doing them at an angle instead of kind of pulling straight out. I don't know, but I haven't had any issues. If you're worried, just dip them in some warm water first before doing any changing. Dip the hands and this whole section in warm water to pop them in and out if you think you might have an issue. But the gloves are handled really well. They have this extra cuff piece that just goes onto the figure, and then you plug the hands in after that. And so you get the same articulation and everything, but now you've got this gloved look, and instead of having to buy two figures to have both looks, you've got one figure that can pull off both looks, which is great. I love that feature. I think it was really, really well handled by Diamond. So you get two sets of gloved hands. One have more of an open hand, and the other one is more of a gripping hand. And these are actually the same sculpts as the non-gloved hands. So you can see that they have fingernails, and it's just a black paint app. But again, like I said, it's a really cool thing that they included. I'm not expecting a completely unique gloved sculpt, especially at a price point of $14. His other accessories include a Neutrino Wand, proton stream that just plugs on here. Like I said, the first wave did not have these clear clips on them, so if you have a first wave figure and you don't understand why you couldn't get it on there, it's because they didn't have these clips. And they have a little tiny indent so that it matches up with the end of your Neutrino Wand, and they just plug right on there, and they're held on pretty well. And that is actually a two-piece sculpt. The blue part is a separate sculpt around the orange-ish pink stream. Other accessories include a walkie-talkie, and this has a slight paint app on it this time around to show that he's been covered in marshmallow goo, and that just plugs right into his utility belt. And then he's got the Ecto Goggles. Now these are the same ones that come with his the initial Rey figure. There is no marshmallow paint app on these, so if you're getting him and you've already got the regular Rey, it's a cool way to get an extra pair of Ecto Goggles that you can throw on another figure. And these are really nice. I like the way they stretch over the head. It's going to be tough for me to do this behind the camera, but the material feels like it's really durable, but stretchy. And you can get it over here, and then you can go all the way over his eyes, or just put it at the top of his head. You get a little bit of extra loose material when you just do it at the top of the head, because it really is supposed to go over his eyes. But it still doesn't look bad to have it just resting on his forehead too. And like I said, I'll do pictures of all this stuff so you can get a better view of it instead of trying to catch it as I'm doing the video. Okay, on the figure itself, there's also some gear that's not removable. Oh, one more thing. He also comes with a figure stand. And this is what all the Toys R Us versions come with instead of a big diorama piece. It's just a plain black oval with a peg, but it does work well. He just kind of plugs on there and has his own little stand now. Let's get that out of the way though. Okay, so his gear is not removable, but I do want to highlight all of it as if it's an accessory. The Proton Pack is really well done. I've said this in other videos. I'm not a complete expert on the Proton Pack and every little wire color, but it looks pretty great to me. It's got all these little tiny sticker detailings that you can get up close and see that they're actually like little writing on there. Really great job on the Proton Pack. And this time around it's got some marshmallow fluff on it. So you get some white paint detailing on that Proton Pack sculpt that makes it look like he's been covered in marshmallow goo. The Neutrino Wand, it's a little tough to get it onto the back of the pack. There's a little upside down, or I guess it's right side up V if you're looking at it this way, and then an upside down piece here that replicates the little Dixie bracket that's on the actual Proton Packs, and then you just kind of slide that onto that. It's not a great grip, but you can get it to stay on there. A lot of folks didn't realize that was even there on the first wave, but it is there, and you're able to put it on the back. The other way to do it is to take one of the little areas on the side of the gun and plug it into his key fob that's hanging down here, so you can have the look where they're carrying the Neutrino Wands in the front of their belt. Okay, I think that covers all the little intricacies on the figure. Oh, the utility belt is also a separate piece. And like I said, this is a separate piece, the Proton Pack. It's just not removable. It was originally going to be, but the peg would just be too weak to be able to take it off and on. It's up to you. You could always cut that and make these removable, but I prefer it being, you know, a nice piece that's on there and not having to worry about that peg breaking. I think that's why they sell it like that. They don't want a lot of people taking it off and then complaining about broken packs. It's just much easier just to glue it and say, well, it's a separate piece, but it's up to you if you want to cut it off or not. Same with the belt, it's a separate piece. It does not have a peg or something you can remove it with. It's just there. And it too has the Marshmallow highlighting, just like the Alice straps have the Marshmallow paint detailing. Most of the figure is the same as the first release, with just the addition of this white paint detailing. The head sculpt is slightly different. It's got the same basic sculpt, but they've added actual sculpted Marshmallow onto the hair that's been painted white and little bits on the face. So I think they started with the basic sculpt and then added those pieces on there. Articulation-wise, he's got ankles that hinge up and down, and they also are in this rocker, so they get a lot of range of movement, which is really nice. I'm going to back this camera up just a little bit so we can get a full view of him as I'm doing all this. Then he's got a double knee joint at the top and the bottom of the knee. He's got a swivel at the mid-thigh, and then he's got hips that pivot out and then swivel up and down. And that's really well hidden by the utility belt, so that's a cool way of doing that articulation, but not making it look silly or like a robot. Then he's got a waist swivel, and then he's got a mid-torso joint that's on a ball. He's got shoulders that swivel and then hinge in and out, and then he's got elbows that swivel where they meet the bicep and then hinge up and down. And then the wrists, they all have a swivel where they plug into the arm, and they each have a different hinge. Some hinge in and out, and some hinge up and down to get good poses with that Neutrino Wand. And then the head is mounted on a ball joint. And I believe that covers all the articulation on him. The sculpt on this is really nice. I've said it before on the other Ghostbusters. I like that they're unique uniforms. There's little differences between the sculpts on Rey and Egon, Peter and Winston. There are some, I believe, some reused parts, but there's enough differences that you get a good look and you don't look like you have the same figure with 4 different heads stuck on it. Alright, let's bring in the original Rey figure here. So that way you can see all the marshmallowness that's been added on. So there's your standard Rey next to Marshmallow Rey. As you can see, there's a lot of white paint detailing on his arms, his chest, his boots. The head, like I said, it's got those new paint apps, or the new sculpted pieces on there with the white paint. Overall, it does make for a very different looking figure, but at the same time, a reasonable figure as an exclusive, something you don't actually have to have, and something that's not overboard with the sculpting as when they were first shown with the Marshmallow, where it would be this huge piece covering him, to the point where it would be a really expensive figure to do with all that new pieces. This just involves one new bit of tooling and you get a unique figure, but not one that you feel like you have to have. And let's see, next to the old Mattel Marshmallow Rey, which I believe was one of the Club Ecto exclusives. First year they did it. And he was pretty much exactly the same as the regular figure with just the paint detailing, and they added on a ridiculously small Ecto Goggle. But again, we're seeing that they had the better hose on the legs where they did the actual clear, and Diamond is still doing just the solid yellow. I'll take the solid yellow though, overall, with a better figure. Okay, so I think that about covers everything on him. Oh, like I said before, it only is at Toys R Us. There's no giant diorama piece. So don't feel like you have to buy another Rey to build your diorama or try and find a specialty shop version of this figure, because there is not one. Both the Rey and the Peter only come without the base piece. So we're already going to have 2 Peters in the regular line that are needed to build the diorama. That's the standard Peter and the slime Peter. And 2 Reys. You need to buy the regular Rey and the Quitting Time Rey, but you do not have to buy the Marshmallow Rey and the Marshmallow Peter to build the whole diorama. They do not come with pieces. Don't think that they do. Okay? You got it. But they're still cool figures, so you may want to pick them up, and again, the price is right. But we'll talk more about that at the couch, so let's go ahead on over there and do that part of the review. Hey everybody, welcome to another ActionFeatures.net Toy Talk review. I don't know how I'm welcoming you. You've already been welcomed. You've already seen the opening sequence. I take back my welcome. Okay, so as you know, we're taking a look at the Diamond Select Marshmallow Rey Stantz. And a burp. It was silent, but it was there. Marshmallow Rey Stantz, Diamond Select figure, Toys R Us, San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. So it was sold at San Diego Comic-Con, I think at the Entertainment Earth booth, maybe? Entertainment Earth booth? And then it was available at ToysRUs.com. We haven't seen this in a store yet, though. No. So I don't know if it's actually at stores.
Or online only.
Or online only, or what. But you get that RS logo there. And since this is the first one of these... yeah, this is the first style of Toys R Us packaging that we've looked at.
Yeah.
Because the other ones were all the comic shop versions. So this is what the Toys R Us packaging looks like. You see it's not a big window thing that comes around. It's more just a standard card back release. It's one of two Marshmallow figures right now. The other one is Peter, Marshmallow Peter, and that was through GameStop. No, wait, no, that wasn't through GameStop. That was through Diamond Select at San Diego Con, and then other retailers can carry it now that the show is over. One of those has been GameStop, the other one is comic shops. So you'll see that Marshmallow Peter at specialty stores. The price on these, the price on him is only $14.
That's insane.
Which is
San Diego Con
crazy
exclusive.
Cheap. Yeah, Peter is $20 at most places.
Still
but
not bad.
Yeah, it's still not bad at all, especially for a lower run figure where you don't have as many made. Alright, so packaging. What do you guys think of this? You think this is cool?
It's cool.
I think it's cool.
And it's way, I mean, it's like more simple than the other one, but sometimes I like the simple packaging because you don't have to worry about keeping it.
Yeah.
Track of it and stuff.
I agree. I really like the packaging on the standard figures.
Yeah.
I like the way it kind of wraps around, but it is large, and this isn't as big. Like it seems like you could deal with these a little bit easier than you can those other ones. They take up a lot of space and they have a lot going on.
Yeah.
And it seems like it'd be harder to find a really decent package on those other ones because there's so much area to get dinged up. But then again, they're hitting regular retail stores, and then maybe they get more dinged up. I want to mention real quickly that behind the figure is a little catalog that shows Diamond Select product, and inside that is an extra little clip for your Proton streams. So the first wave, where they didn't include those little clips on the Proton streams of regular figures, the Rey and the Winston, they said that maybe they try and include those clips in the Series 2 figures, and they didn't do that, but both Marshmallow Peter and Marshmallow Rey have that extra clip back in there. So if you have first wave figures and you're still missing a clip for them, you get these, don't throw this away, you got an extra clip back there. Okay, so we don't need to talk about too much about the Rey figure itself because eventually we're going to be reviewing the regular Rey, so we don't need to get into a lot of detail on him and more talk about just the idea of the Marshmallow mess figure and what's different on this figure compared to the other figure. The sculpt itself is basically the same, just the head has had added marshmallow fluff everywhere, and that's been painted. Everything else, though, is the same as the standard release. This one is not like the deluxe one, and you don't get a piece. There is no deluxe version of this. There's only this version. There's no piece of the diorama. Instead, you get the black figure stand, just like the Toys R Us releases of the first regular figures. So that being said, all the other accessories are the same, where you get the Proton Stream, the 4 gloved hands, the 4 extra regular hands, the walkie-talkie, and his unique accessory, which is the Ecto Goggles. They're the same as they were before. I don't think there's any Marshmallow stuff on those, no. We won't talk about those too much. Although they do go on well. They're tight around his head. You have to kind of stretch to get them on there, which I like. I don't like that they're correctly proportioned. They can go over his eyes or kind of hang up above his head. You have this extra strap going on here, but you can make that work. That's a really cool, nice accessory. And if I don't end up using these with him, it's nice to have an extra pair for other figures.
Right.
As far as the little marshmallow decoration on him, the sculpting is nice. I like that they actually took the time to sculpt on some marshmallow. Unlike a certain other company that made a Marshmallow Mess Rey, and all they did was put some white paint on the regular figure and some goggles on him that were crazily out of scale. With this one, it's almost like, if you really want an answer to how Diamond Select has upped the game over Mattel, take a look at the 2 Marshmallow Mess Rey figures and how they look. And you'll understand. A lot of people are complaining about him not having the crazy amount of marshmallow on him.
He didn't really have it.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
During the sequence when they're on the rooftop. But once they get down to the street, miraculously, Egon, Rey, and Winston don't have nearly the same amount. They look more like Peter.
Yeah.
They have barely any left on them, and that's what this is done after.
Miraculously, somehow Dana Barrett does have marshmallow on her after she was encased in a pterodon.
Well, maybe she hugged him. Maybe
Yeah,
she hugged him on the way down.
I'm pretty sure she did.
So in that case, this is accurate, in that he would just have a little bit of marshmallow on him. And this is an exclusive release.
Yeah.
It's going to not have a lot of extra new sculpting. I'm surprised they sculpted on these bits on the hair to get the chunks of marshmallow on his head. Same with Peter. He has a new head sculpt where they've put extra pieces of marshmallow on him. It's an exclusive figure. They're not going to go crazy and sculpt this whole new body with big chunks of marshmallow on it. I like this better in that you could almost use it like as he's been through a rough day, or other things have happened to him. Whereas if you covered him in that marshmallow stuff, it almost wouldn't even look like a Ghostbuster anymore. He would be so thick with that stuff that it would be kind of weird. And I think it would interfere with the articulation to really make it look crazy.
Especially Egon when they get around to doing him in Marshmallow Mess.
Yeah.
Because I think he had the most on him, right?
Him, Rey, and Winston had a pretty equal amount. Like, they were all pretty covered in it.
But Peter, he had, like, none on him.
Yeah, he came out, he was just like, I'm fine. And he had barely any. He looks more like they do at the end of the movie, where there was barely anything on there. So in that regard, I like that they did not do that other version. And they put the paint app is nice, where they put a little bit on the Proton Pack, there's a little bit on the the Neutrino Wand, there's even a little bit on the walkie-talkie that you put in as thing. I like that. I think they did a really nice job of getting just the right amount on him, and it's a cool way to do some exclusives. Because if you didn't get this figure, and you don't want to put up the whole $14 it takes to get him, you're not missing out.
It's just an extra if you want to buy it. It's not a necessity in the line.
You don't have to have it. And they've done Peter and Rey, and they said they have the head sculpts for Winston and Egon ready to go. They just got to find a spot for them to do it as an exclusive release. Perfect idea for an exclusive.
It'd kind of be funny if Peter had a head where he was just like licking marshmallow off.
That would be funny. That would be more like Peter Fakeman. So yeah, all in all, it's a great idea for an exclusive. Really cool execution, and the price is crazy good. I mean, an exclusive at $14 that you can just go on Toys R Us website and pick up is pretty awesome. Matt at work, he doesn't have the regular Rey, and so when I told him this was coming up, I said, hey, I'm going to order that Marshmallow Rey, and he's like, hey, that's not too far off from a regular figure, that I wouldn't mind just having that Rey in place of the Rey I missed out on.
Right.
And so he ordered one of them, and he's just going to use it as his standard Rey for his display.
That's cool.
Which you can totally do.
It has enough on it to the point where it's not that bad.
Yeah, it's not overly bored. Yeah, it just looks like he's been in a battle with a ghost, or our Marshmallow ghost.
All in all, I'd say this year was a good year for San Diego Comic-Con exclusives.
Yeah, I'd say so. There's some good exclusives.
Yeah.
I didn't pick up a lot of them, but there were some really nice exclusives.
I wanted that Newt so bad.
Yeah, NECA didn't do the online thing, which is really kind of heartbreaking for us. I would have loved to have got those turtle sets. That was beyond their control, though. They have to go by what the license is able to do. I don't understand why Newt wasn't online, though.
Well, they said that they might be able to get it out another way.
Yeah, they're going to find another way. That's cool, and if they find another way, that's great. It is just kind of a bummer that all these years past they've done that, and this year they didn't do it. But it made me save some money.
Yeah,
and whereas this, I just went on ToysRUs.com and got it, $15. I went to GameStop and got the Venkman figure, $20. Nice job, Diamond Select. Giving you kudos, you guys. You handled the exclusives right at San Diego this year, more than any other company, I think. Hasbro Toy Shop put theirs up, and everything everybody wanted was gone in 30 seconds. Yeah, I understand that these aren't as popular as Star Wars Black Series figures, but
I kind of forgot Hasbro's still doing Star Wars.
Oh yeah, man.
I would kind of understand if these were more popular than the Black one.
The Black Series.
I would too, man.
They're
better figures for the price.
And way cheaper.
They're way cheaper. I think that you're getting so much more with every one of these Ghostbusters releases than you are with any of those Black Series figures. And we love the Black Series line. It's a cool line.
It's fun.
But the fact that everything you get in that package, especially if you get it at Toys R Us, for $14 or $15 is unheard of. And that's why I think you don't ever see them at Toys R Us. We never see them there.
Yeah, I've seen...
We've seen Dana.
I've seen Dana and Lewis
That's
once.
all. Yeah, that's all we see there.
And then I've seen Rey at Suncoast once.
And I've seen Peter once at Suncoast too.
Yeah, the Suncoast ones are the full deluxe ones, though. And those are $25. And at that point, but that's still... I mean, Black Series is $22.
And you get a piece of a diorama.
You get a huge diorama once it's all said and done, and you still get all that extra stuff with all that articulation and all that, you know, gear and extra hands and the wand, all that stuff. You're getting all those goodies in there for $25.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's, I've said it before and I'll keep saying it, it's the best value going. This line is easily the best value going. Okay, so Marshmallow Rey, awesome figure, awesome price. Not something you definitely need, but why not? $14,
Yeah,
you know?
well.
I think
it's not like I'm asking you to spend $30 on this exclusive.
I think they're the best figures I've seen this year.
I agree. I give them the line of the year for sure.
I mean, I don't buy them. I just look at yours. I buy NECA's Alien right now.
Yeah, we're to the point though where each collects something different,
and we can just go into
and we can just look at each other's stuff. Yeah, there's no reason for us to buy 3 of everything.
Yeah. Not really me though.
Not really you.
You collect Transformers and stuff.
Yeah, and I like your Transformers. I look at your Transformers, and I don't buy them.
You have more Predators than I have, and I like looking at your Predators.
I look at your Aliens. You guys look at my Ghostbusters. So it's become to the point where we each can collect our own thing.
Yeah, and we just kind of share it as a whole. Almost.
Yeah, I think the only line that we're getting more than one of is the Batman animated, because you like those and you like those, because you like to display them and you like to play with them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the only one where you have to buy multiples of something.
Oh, I'm just gonna say that's the one thing that really disappointed me at San Diego Con was that Batman.
Which one?
The one with all the different. The one with the.
Oh, well, we'll get into that another time. This is the Ghostbuster review. We shouldn't go too far off.
Yeah.
All right, so that's it for the Marshmallow Rey, and we'll sign off on this one. And you guys got anything more to say about Marshmallow Rey?
Nope.
Nope.
All right, we'll sign off on this one. We'll see you guys next time.